showtime!
I got two things I want to tell y'all.
What's up?
Not just y'all motherfuckers, but everybody watching and listening. What's today? July 29th? So as of today, 729, I, Chris Gibbs, identify as a god. So I no longer want to be considered human. I am a god, and an evil god to be exact, but I'm still a god. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Call me God from now on. You guys don't have to, but if you see me in the street, say what up, God. Address me like that. And another thing, word on the street is Lizzo caught a body. Anybody get a rumor? Y'all heard that rumor that Lizzo caught a body stage diving? Y'all heard
let's
that
not
rumor?
do this. Vic, you
I'm
laughing
just
way
saying.
too hard.
I'm just saying.
Tonight.
Word on the street is Lizzo got a body.
Chris, your hand is still raised.
Oh shit! How do I take this damn hand down?
That's what you get. That's just what you get.
Oh shit! You can lower hand. That's actually tight. Technology, a motherfucker. I know y'all. Hey, my bad. You know she addressed it. If she never wouldn't address it, like Big brought that up. If she addressed it, it's real. She addressed it, it's real.
What
I'm
body?
just saying I have to be asked.
Don't ask, Eric. Don't even ask. Don't even ask.
What body did she get?
Oh, Eric. So look, hold on. Since he asked, there was a rumor going around that Lizzo committed murder by stage diving on a fan at one of her shows. Now, I didn't hear about it. I didn't read about it. I know because Lizzo made a video addressing the rumor. So it must have been actually a real rumor. So I'm just saying, word around the block is she caught a body. I don't know, man. Just if you go to one of her shows, get the fourth row and beyond. Don't get the first 3 rows. That's danger zone. Don't do it.
I heard it.
How to say y'all?
Hashtag stage jump. Hey, listen. Before we get started, people, I just want y'all to go to our Facebook page. Hashtag will you let her jump?
I can't stand y'all.
If you were in the crowd, would you attempt to catch Lizzo if she jumped?
Putting over CDs in the middle of the street and shit.
People following though, like Kanye. Look at what Kanye's show. Everybody talked about. He had the show, the listening party. It wasn't even a show, right? It was like a listening party or something like that. And everybody made a big deal about how he was selling hot dogs for $50 or whatever. But the whole point was to get attention to listen
that nigga
to
was
album.
First of all, I owe Kanye an apology. And I think I owe probably 1 or 2 of y'all apologies. Because we done talked about Kanye a few times. And let me take back every single thing I said about Kanye's mental health. Wow. Kanye is nothing more than an evil genius. That's what Kanye is. Everything Kanye does is planned. And just the way he acts, he's been doing it for so long. It's a pattern. Kanye selling $65 chicken strip, $50 hot dogs, standing in the middle of a damn arena, not saying shit, just sitting there with a fucking hood on like an Avenger or something. Kanye knows what the fuck he does and he does it well. This craziness he plays, Kanye you would think is some type of, I don't want to say special ed because that's harsh, but you would think Kanye has a mental problem. He reminds me of a child that has a mental problem. That's what Kanye reminds me of. But it's all by design. It's all by design. And it works.
I can't
very
really
intelligent.
disagree. I mean, the dude is what? The man's worth $1 billion. Like, he know what he's doing. And he's super, I mean, he's talented musically. He's talented as a producer. He's a legit, I don't know what the word for it, but he's a legit, is it clothier? What do you call that? But he's legit when it comes to a designer, fashion. Like, that dude, Yeezys, what he did with the sneaker game is insane. You could say, like, he was one of the first people, or not the first, because maybe there's some that I don't know about, but he was like the first dude to really take that shoe game to another level where like everybody's trying to follow his way. Dudes tried it, you know, G-Unit had a sneaker, a couple of dudes had a sneaker, but ain't nobody did it like Yeezy did it. That shit is different.
And I thought 2 things about the whole Kanye thing. One was the fact that he's going to be living inside of the Mercedes-Benz Dome until the album release. So he has a private suite somewhere inside the Mercedes-Benz Dome, and he refuses to leave the building.
That's just baller shit. That's rich nigga shit right there.
Until August 6th. So he's going to be taking residence there. And
Hey, that's a big check. He's paying them, so what do they care?
I wonder, I mean, I was kind of wondering how big the space they gave him, but I guess it don't matter. And the other thing that I thought was something to revel about was the last thing that he played at the listening party was a song with he and Jay-Z. And I heard Jay-Z in the lyrics say that this could be the return of the throne. So I'm excited if they're going to make an album.
Yeah.
So
that's dope. I'm happy that they getting back together. That's dope that they squashed the beef. You know what I'm saying? Like they
made great music, bro. They made great music together.
It's ironic that it happens after Kim.
But I would say that was the most exciting part hearing about him and Jay-Z. The song is some mid. I heard the song. The song is some mid.
Did you guys like anything about it?
I couldn't give it an honest listen because of the way it was delivered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not audio.
Kanye West is the type of person that would have played that shit at the listening party, and 75% of that shit might not even be on the album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's going to give us, to be honest with you. I'm interested to find out, and that's the thing about Kanye and Chris calling him a genius. You really don't know what the fuck to expect come August 6th.
But would you listen to find out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for the
hell
culture.
Yeah. Kanye, hell yeah.
Yeah. And plus, I gotta critique the shit. I gotta critique the shit.
Yeah. People. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that there's a yearning for some real rap. People want some real rap.
But that's not some real rap. I'm sorry. The last couple Kanye albums have not been some real rap. That's different type of music.
Listen, I would agree.
It's different type of music.
I would agree, but I'm just saying people are hoping that the people who can rap will rap.
This album's coming though.
Here's what I think people are waiting for. People are waiting for the artists that they're used to. They're hoping that he can capture some college dropout vibe. So they want to hear the Kanye that we all know and love, the classic album Kanye. But he ain't, like Chris said, he ain't been on that vibe for years. It's almost like you know what a concept car is, right? Like you see a concept car, you probably never see that in the street. Some of them you're like, okay, they're fancy. Like his albums are like concept cars now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like different. It's way left, way right. Some of it you'll like, but it's not traditional hip hop anymore. It's I don't know how to describe it, but it's just very different.
Yeah. But what I know what people are waiting for, August 3rd, that's real rap. The Locks and Dipset.
Before we get to Locks and Dipset, before we get to the real shit, because that's the real argument right there. Let me introduce this motherfucking podcast. What up, y'all? Y'all with the Arrogant Underdogs. You with my guy, Eric, a.k.a. Reverend No Good, a.k.a. Booty, a.k.a. Chief Rocker, a.k.a. some more shit. You got my guy, Hollywood Big, and the MVP, Dion, of course, and myself, the entity, the God, Chris Gibbs, and we are the Arrogant Underdogs. What's up with y'all?
Hey, Chris, if you ain't noticed, I changed your name. You see it?
The God named Chris.
The God named Chris. Oh, that shit hard. I like that shit. Let me change my name without permission, though, nigga.
And this episode is sponsored by Jet Fuel.
Oh my word! You're gonna smoke something with Jet Fuel?
I got some meth.
That sounds.
Wait, that's the name of the weed. That's the name of the weed. My shit is called Ref.
We wilding up in here tonight, ain't we?
Hey, I'm just saying that's the name of the kush.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. So y'all watching the Locks? Y'all watching the verses?
If you don't watch this shit, I'm gonna talk shit to you. You gotta. If you even pretend like you like rap music, you have to watch this.
I just hope they do it right, because they set it up to be iconic. August 3rd, it might be a two.
Shit, man.
August 3rd is a Tuesday. But they're setting this up to be iconic. It's in Madison Square Garden, right? So it's in New York. This is kind of like the Hood Subway series. Like if you're from the tri-state area, you don't understand.
I like that.
late 90s, early 2000s hip hop that's just like converged into one, like for the hood niggas, for the hood parties, and then throwing it in Madison Square Garden. This is like for hip hop heads. This can be iconic if they do it right.
It is. Yeah. It is weird though, right? Because the locks are from Yonkers, right?
Right.
And these cats is from Harlem, which is what we consider uptown, right? If you from New York, so like none of them are like called, but it ain't like Brooklyn versus Queens, you know, Bronx. So it's kind of different because some dudes from Yonkers, if you say where you from, they used to say uptown, and we used to be like, bro, you ain't from uptown, bro, you from Yonkers, that's not uptown. So it's like it's different the areas, but it is two of the strongest teams out of New York that was successful. You know what I'm saying? Like Dipset had their own lane. Like them or not, you ain't gotta like them, right? But the fact is that they had a wave and they created a lane. And the same thing, and the same thing with the locks, you know. And the Dipset got a lot of motherfucking swag, son. They had a lot of swag.
So coming from a West Coast guy, and I'm not gonna say don't take me as it's saying that the Locks is more New York than Dipset. I would never say that. Dipset is New York like a motherfucker. But coming from a West Coast guy, and I'm 35, fucking Dipset was a whole era out here. They literally raised a generation. The Locks impact was more New York. The Dipset impact, they had all the way from New York to LA, dressing like them, talking like them, rapping their raps. So I'm a Locks fan.
I can understand that though, because if you think about it, the Locks are their genre of rap, like their segment of rap they didn't have a lot of, I don't know how to explain it. Like they had like Wild 'N Out and all that stuff, but a lot of their songs were more like underground. They were more hardcore for, like I said, for street dudes. That's a lot of their music was. They had fun. Obviously, they had hits that were radio hits, but Dipset had a lot of like pop culture infused into them. So they were on TV a lot more. They were in commercials. MTV was a big part of, you know what I'm saying, their identity. So I don't completely agree, but I can understand where you're coming from. I get that.
I do, because also Dipset had a lot of collabs. Like they did a lot of music with West Coast. That Certified Gangster shit.
Oh yeah.
That shit was a whole wave.
That shit was hard as fuck. Yeah, that's when Game first came out.
That shit was filmed in LA. Yeah. That shit was out there. That shit was so Dipset. You know what it is, Dipset? They had a wave, man. They had a wave. Dipset wasn't just the music. That shit was the clothes. That shit was running around in pink Lambos. You know, like that shit was a movement before all of that shit. And they real street dudes. Like them cats was real hustlers. Like if you look up their jackets, that shit is, you know, they was really from the streets.
For me, I think that the Locks was gonna win. When I was in college, that's all you heard about was the Locks and Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? So the college circuit was ruled by people like Jadakiss and the Locks. I remember at times going to parties where they would be in Richmond at 3 colleges, and to be in North Carolina and the DC area, and they just kind of went up and down the East Coast touring a lot of the colleges. And they have a lot of hit songs that they were featured in. You know, they've done some amazing work from some of the largest, I shouldn't say largest, but some of the most successful artists.
Word tonight.
Yeah, some of the most successful artists in the game. They've done work with Mariah Carey, Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z, DMX. They pelted the Rough Riders Volume 1 and Volume 2. We talking about some of those classic West Coast albums. One of the hardest songs I ever heard. Jadakiss is on, where it starts off with Snoop, was World War I on the Rough Riders album. So I think that the Locks has the ability to beat the Dipset. I respect Dipset because I think they got 5 untouchable songs. I've been doing a little research over the last couple of weeks since it's been amping up, And they got 5 songs I don't think they can be touched on. But I think overall, once I got past those 5 or 6 songs, it started to thin out. I think that the Lox has a B level catalog, and I think that Dipset has some A level songs, but then they have a bunch of C level songs also. I think that the features gonna kill the Dipset in the end. The Lox got too many features with great artists.
Well, I'm glad you said that because they shouldn't. The Lox was a part of Bad Boy, especially in a time and era where they had a lot of superstar artists.
Mm-hmm.
The Lox only by themselves. The Lox only have 3 top 10. I mean, 3 songs on the top 100. They never had a top 10, but they only had 3 songs on the top 100. So to me, that's some. You gotta take away some points from that because you were part of Bad Boy when you had all these artists and stuff like that. You couldn't do better than that. When I heard about Jadakiss, we all heard about Jadakiss. Well, at least on the West Coast, we knew Jadakiss for being just a pure rapper. Even when we heard about the Lox, we just knew them for being pure rappers. And this is what I always talking about with the rapping conversation. You have to do more than rap. Jadakiss had it, but the other rest didn't. They didn't have that I guess that image and that swag to go along with it that Jadakiss had. So that's the big discount right there. Dipset had it all. They checked almost every box. That's why they were able to create a movement like they did.
And
people laugh.
I also think there's going to be some separation when Jadakiss body Cameron on a song. So I think that's going to come into play too. Banned from TV, Noriega song, Jadakiss murders the song.
Who y'all got? Okay, Eric said the Lox. Who you got, Chris and Vic?
Dipset.
Dipset for sure. Hey, let me ask you a question. On that little on that little list of yours, did you have the Cam and Kanye?
They got some classics.
That was one of the untouchable songs.
Well,
That was one of them.
Let
me tell you, when they played that, down, when that beat dropped, boom, 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 that's clearing, that's nuking everything.
Yeah, that was one of the untouchables.
I think a lot of people forget about some of the Lox songs.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have Jim Jones Ballin'? Did you have Jim Jones Ballin'?
You got Pop Champagne?
Pop Champagne, Dipset Anthem.
Yeah.
Dipset Anthem, those are 6 songs I got.
Yeah, I'm about to say ain't nothing. You talking about that shit with Kanye West when he played Ballin', ain't nothing.
But if you go back to like individual, but if they do individual songs, like that just opens up a can of worms at that point. Because now Santana got a slew of them, Cam got a slew of them, like Jim Jones got. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. If it's set up like that, yes, I can see how it gets an easy win.
This may not be a popular opinion.
If they are allowed to play feature songs, it's gonna be a problem for the Dipset.
Of course they're gonna play features. Every verse has played feature songs.
It's not gonna compare when you play All About the Benjamins and shit like that. Nothing.
Well, yeah, but there's gonna be
songs. Just one song.
No, they got several songs like that.
4? Okay, how many?
They got at least 6 songs. He got 2.
I guarantee you, I got 4 joints that ain't on your list that are smokers on the Dipset side. Bro, Jim Jones, this may not be popular, but Jim Jones has dropped better albums than them dudes. Jim Jones' solo work is better than them dudes, with the exception of maybe Jada. Outside of that, Jim Jones' albums are better than those cats.
Oh, that's fair.
So that's fact.
Well, that's hard to say it's fact,
but production, shit. Jim got some shit with French he could play. You fucking crazy.
Don't forget though. Now, don't forget. This is a versus, and remember, some of these songs can't be played because the artist didn't write it. So Jim, I hope he's written those songs.
Well, no, I'm sure they're working on getting clearance.
That's bullshit. Have you heard Jim Jones?
He's been writing his own raps.
Snoop and DMX did a verses, and Snoop did not play a song, and he said at the end why he didn't play it because
they got to get clearance if they don't write it, and they
yeah,
don't own.
But he said out his mouth. He said out his mouth, I ain't write it. It won't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody wrote
That's
it.
him.
But my point
That's
is, if they can get clearance, they may still do the song.
See, look, Vic. That's the thing, though. You can't do that against somebody like Jada, though.
What?
Yes, you can.
Listen.
Time out.
If Jay-Z and Nas, it's
not the song. Hold on, the song that Snoop was talking about is a song that the whole world knew he didn't write it.
What I'm telling you is,
most of these songs. What I'm telling you is this: just because it is that rumor, don't mean he didn't write it. Because they have collabs. They have collabs. So if Jim Jones is in the studio and he wrote some of those bars and his boy helped him, he's on there as a writer, so he can play it. Let me finish. That song, Snoop didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't touch it. He didn't even collab. Jay-Z literally sent the lyrics and they went in there like little children and they read it. That's different.
Yeah, but sometimes
and that's why they can't play the music.
But I don't see what the holdup is as long as they can.
This is why, because this isn't a normal versus. This verse is for hip-hop heads. If Jay-Z and Nas was on stage and Nas played a song that he didn't write, Jay-Z will fucking destroy him right there on stage.
Oh, you're talking about like from an integrity perspective.
I think y'all going down that rabbit hole too much when it comes to writing.
See, Chris, that's why I debate this a bit, because these are New York niggas. If this was any other group of motherfuckers, I would agree. But these motherfuckers, they are different. They believe in the lyrics that they write and shit nobody even use a piece of it, right? So it's a proven fact. Somebody just put it up in one of the groups we was in. Well, Jim's album was written by somebody else.
Yeah, but I'm sure
he was wrong. He said Stack Bundles wrote the song and they were wrong. So
yeah, that's
Eric, you gotta prove it and show me where he didn't write the songs, because that's you. All you doing is this rumor shit and spreading internet shit.
You saying that they basically can't use their catalog? That's a whole nother dynamic.
Well, if they don't hold the song, they can. But still, I don't think that they're gonna
use. If someone else wrote it,
as long as it's clear, then they wrote it.
It's not someone else wrote it. What they saying is he's in the studio and his boy helped him. They collabed on the song. So they trying to say Jim Jones got help. It's not that Jim Jones did nothing and wrote the whole song. So if you spreading fake news, they're gonna get this work. You're not gonna exclude this music. You getting this work.
Either way, it should be. Either way, it should be an epic night for hip hop. I think it
is. It is gonna be a lot of drunk motherfuckers.
I hope it that way. I hope they do it the right way.
They're gonna be loaded.
And do
they're gonna be loaded.
Hip hop.
And truth be told, these verses, you never know how it could go, because they may not play the song you think they should play, and who the hell knows? I learned my lesson already in a couple of these verses already. So you never know. It's gonna be epic. You know, the Locks is beast. Don't get that twisted. But I just think for this platform, their sound plays better in this platform. They have that more of that anthem music, club banging sound, where the Locks is more technically, lyrically.
Well, it's been fun watching them banter back and forth. Go back and forth. At least it's out of fun. It's not serious. Unlike Lupe and Royce, that's serious. They sound like
that's funny.
They could end up like fighting in real life. I hope they just keep it. You know what I'm saying? In the
let them niggas square up.
I was encouraged last weekend. I saw a boxing match, right? It was fucking Blueface,
baby.
And
that shit was terrible.
And some white guy, right? I would love to see Lupe Fiasco and Royce the 5'9" put on the gloves and try to knock each other head off. I think that would be epic. That shit would be great for rap.
You know,
hip-hop.
You onto something. I would love to see, instead of these rappers shooting each other and killing each other, they get in the ring. And I guarantee you, if they force them to get in the ring and maybe pay them, a lot of these dudes who ain't got no fucking hands will slow their roll like crazy dogs. They get pumped up.
Well,
to
that's what
get
I
that
posted
ass
about.
stumped
But
up.
it's a hip hop beef. You want them to make music. That's the best part of hip hop beefs. Is
Oh,
the
of
music
course. I
part.
prefer they make music, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, instead of getting real and getting violent in the streets, take that shit in the ring, put it on TV, set up some money, and let them do that shit better. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
I know I identify as a god now, right? Somebody must have told Royce that he was the rap god. The way this motherfucker been acting like he's just the Jordan of rap. I don't know if you guys been watching his interviews, but he just been the way he talks, like he's just untouchable. People know what I do. I'm just on this different tier. But Royce, no, you're not. And it's funny that he's been saying this because before, like a year ago, I remember talking with some dudes. I remember talking to Vic about it. I said, Royce he's not this cat everybody keeps saying he is. Like, Royce, he can rap. Yeah, a lot of rappers can rap, but that's about it. Royce looked up. Royce had 2 songs on the top 100, right? In his whole career. Just 2.
I don't even know this motherfucker.
Both of them motherfuckers had Eminem. Both of them. So Royce didn't do it. Eminem got him. Eminem didn't carry this man. This is one of the only rappers I know that was that good, that was aligned to Eminem and really couldn't be more than what he was. He had Dre, he had M, piggybacking him, like pushing him up, rapping him, and you couldn't do better. Royce is afraid to rap. And if I had Royce in front of me right now, I would say, you need to stop talking, shut up and dribble. That's the fuck you need to do. You need to rap. We don't want to hear that talking no more. We don't want to see your lies. We don't want to see you with your hand on your chin, asking questions. We don't want to, just rap. Why are you afraid to rap? That's my question. Why are rappers afraid to rap?
And to keep it 100, Lupe destroyed him with the song.
It was
Lupe
a great
got
song.
at him. Lupe got at him. Well, I'll say this. I have a little bit of different opinion as far as Royce's skills. He mad nice with it. I don't care what anybody says. He's mad nice with it.
He is. I agree.
And hip hop is not always about the billboard. There's a certain part of hip hop that's about skills. Not everything is just point to the scoreboard either. But he did come off as super smug. He was feeling himself, and that shit backfired on his ass. He tried to basically disrespect a culture of freestyle rappers that are nasty, and they got offended, and they brought the heat to him, and it got real uncomfortable. And he tried to run that smugness off on Lupe. Lupe wasn't having it, and Lupe's, in my opinion, Lupe's nicer than him. There ain't too many dudes that's touching Lupe when it comes to that bars and witty and all that. Like, nah,
Real MC.
he's not the one.
Look,
He had to show him.
And Vic, I got a question for you. I mean, seriously, is Royce the 5'9" a part of Midwest rap hierarchy? Does he sit at the top of the Midwest rappers?
So that's a great question. I think in the hip hop circles, he is respected as a bad dude. He is in those circles. Even they say it. They was like, "Yo, he nice, he nasty. We can't front on his bars and everything he do." But he was talking crazy, so he is respected in hip hop. Like, he has all of that, and he was getting all of that. He took, in my opinion, 2 steps back by just going overboard with all that checking boxes shit and acting like he's got his own personal criteria of blah blah. Don't nobody want to really hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Who's been the most successful between Lupe and Royce?
Lupe. What?
Crazy. Lupe. When Lupe dropped that superstar shit, you crazy?
No, I
think that was number one.
Off that.
I had the album, but I'm being honest with you. I'm kind of like Vic a little bit because a lot of people do talk about Royce. It's just never been my thing.
It's funny it's funny how life ain't in music, but this goes regardless. How you can build up so much respect and you can lose it in a matter of a week. Because a lot of his fans, a lot of people is seeing how he's acting and the shit he's saying, and like, man, you full of shit. They're starting to look at him like people look at Joe Budden. Because it's weird for a grown man to him and Lupe did a podcast together, which they don't do no more after the situation. Lupe ended it. But you hop on live and y'all on live together and you call this man a bitch.
Yeah.
Those, you know, that's that shit that had KD lead the Warriors. You know, you don't call no grown man no bitch. That's certain words you just don't say. So you call this man a bitch, then you complain about his energy. This is the reason why he says he won't rap, because I don't rap against people with bad energy. What the fuck? You call me a bitch? What is? Help me explain that.
And wasn't he just trying to explain to him like what happened, right? Like he was just trying to. I mean, first he set it off because he came on there kind of half naked.
Lupe was talking. Lupe jumped on the live without a shirt
trying
on.
to tell him
With
what
a shirt
happened.
off, yeah,
Right.
And they started talking shit. So Lupe was like, "Listen, man, if you want about battling," and Lupe said, "Listen, man, if you want to get your whole professional career, body, or if you want to get he said something like that." And Royce got all crazy. He was like, "What? Who you talking to, bro? Like, bitch." And then he got disrespectful. So Lupe was like, man, whatever. Lupe was selling the fight. Lupe was doing what you're supposed to do. And he got offended. But meanwhile, he's got bars talking about, "I'll shoot your son and son chips." So he's talking about bars like, "I'll shoot your kid," right? So, like, you can't spit bars like that and then go around and then calling the dude a bitch and then saying, "Oh, I don't like the energy." Man, get all the way the fuck out of here with that. He sounds goofy as fuck. Goofy. So it's like, you can't throw bricks and hide your hands, man.
Has he done a
If
response
out of you're gonna talk greasy, stand on it.
He still hasn't?
No, he's not. Well, see, he's the one who dropped the song first. So he dropped his song and then Lupe responded, but he said he's not rapping back at Lupe because Lupe he doesn't like his energy. He doesn't rap against people with bad energy.
He's sitting around. Yeah, he's sitting around looking for every excuse in the book not to get in the studio. Mickey Fax came in and gave him bars, and he's like, "Oh, listen to the song." I just seen him in a recent live, and he was like, "If you listen to the song, that's not really him. That's not really his energy. I'm not gonna." You was disrespecting that dude. What energy? What the fuck are we talking about here? Energy. You was telling him you better come hard. He was telling dude, "Yeah, I don't think you got it." He was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Yeah, I don't think you can fuck with me." He was like, "I don't think." And Mickey Fax was like, "What, bro? Like, are you bugging?" And so he came and brought him the smoke.
Beef that people actually are like in hip hop? Is it like a big deal, or is it just like something fun to watch?
It's more of an underground thing because it's an
underground big deal.
It started out with a little clique of lyricists and underground rappers, battle rappers that like a Knights of the Round Table of dudes who could bar you to death. And they had their own clique going live, and then shit, dudes started talking shit. Shit got sideways, and here we are.
So it's certain rappers like Eminem and Royce and stuff like that that's attached to battle rap. The people that he's beefing with is all battle rap people and known battle rap people. It ain't just like underground; it's the known battle rap people. So it's more of a respect thing, especially if Royce is known to be a lyricist, because this is what this is about. He's known to be a lyricist, and you don't wonder with Royce, blah, blah, blah. This is like the equivalent of Eminem backing down against somebody. Imagine Eminem scared to rap. People gonna be like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
That's why I was wondering if this is like a big thing in the hip hop world, because that's like, I mean, that'll destroy your reputation. If you're supposed to be
absolutely
a battle rapper and then you don't respond, then that fucks with your reputation. Not, you know what I'm saying? I think Lupe is fine in all of this, but it sounds like he's destroying his own reputation.
That's what I'm saying. In this last week, he lost points. He's making himself look bad. Everybody else looking good. Everybody else that's rapping is looking great. He's the only one that's looking funny in the light.
We'll see where.
And I'm a listen, bro. I'm a Royce fan. Like, I fuck with his music. His last album was fire. The Book of Ryan before that to me was fire. So I'm a fan. But yeah, he wildin'. He's doing a bunch of unnecessary shit. I don't know. You know what they say, man. Adversity builds character. Success reveals character. In the last year, he's had a lot of success. He's had podcasts. He's got a bunch of things he's been doing. He's omnipresent. And, Chris said something that shit hit home with me when he said it. And it was like, it's almost like he caught that Joe Budden syndrome. Getting real famous, you getting to talk now, and now people are actually hearing you talk, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. This dude's an asshole. That's sort of what just happened. where he's coming off as real smug, like he's feeling himself, and sort of detached himself from like, you know, the everyday fan, where people are looking at him like, bro, what are you doing? Like, relax.
I gotta be honest. I would say I will follow it and see what's going on, but football is next week. I probably won't care. That's
I
what I'm
agree.
curious if
Neither
it was
will
a
I.
big
The Hall of
deal.
Fame game
That's
is
why I was
next week.
wondering, like, is this
Yeah,
a
the
big
Hall of
deal?
Fame
Neither
game
will
is
I.
next week.
Or, you know.
You got that right. You got
I
that
know,
right.
right? Maybe it's not. But listen, before we go, I wanted to tell y'all about another situation and get your input on it. Did you guys see the story about the father in Louisiana who found a boy in his daughter's bedroom, and then they got into an argument. It turned into a shootout, and the father died. And so now the young man that was in the daughter's bedroom, he's 17. He was arrested after he got out of the hospital. He survived, and he's been charged with second-degree murder. But the story has like gone in so many different directions. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's such a screwed up thing," and I felt bad for. But the more I think about it, it's just so many crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know what to think about it. Like, should the daughter get charged too, or where was the mother? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so.
It's a lot of questions. Yeah, it's a lot of questions.
The one thing I did notice was that the sheriff, they took away the trespassing charges, and I feel like that's going to be a big deal in his case. Did you guys see that?
I didn't
Yeah,
see
well,
that
it
part.
can't be trespassing because if the
daughter
daughter
let him in.
invited him and let him come in,
That's what I'm saying. That just
you know,
threw me off, though.
Yeah, his attorneys probably went. You can dismiss certain things, and they probably approached and submitted some evidence, and it's like, yeah, the daughter let him in. You can't say it's trespassing.
Well, you know why that's a big deal though, because in the stand your ground and the castle defense, it has to be some sort of trespassing. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm defending my property." In order to defend your property, the person has to be there doing something illegal.
Well,
and that's why the trespassing thing is such a big deal. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, but carrying a gun in my home is a big deal.
No, well, the reason why they probably threw the trespassing out is because of how it developed as the event went on. Because once he found a young man in his house, he actually called the father. He called the girl's mother and her grandmother.
Yeah.
They were all outside the house, and they were having a heated discussion. So the mom, the granddaughter, and grandma, they all went off on their own to the other side of the yard to have a discussion, and left the two gentlemen over here, and the argument started back up. A tussle ensued, guns were drawn, and then they started shooting at each other.
Yeah.
See, the father.
Both of them got shot.
What state was this in?
Louisiana.
Oh, them gun laws in Louisiana are fucking crazy. But typically, the homeowner is going to win. That's his home. Regardless, if he asks him to leave and he refuses to leave, his ass is done. That's his house.
That's the interesting part. He didn't initially ask him to leave. He found the boy upstairs and he asked him to come downstairs to talk. Yeah. So he didn't ask him to leave. And people keep making that point, which is why I always find the law fascinating, because
I think that part of it is going to get thrown out. I think it's going to come down to the act of who initiated the violence.
That's what it sounds like.
The boy gonna get charged with the gun regardless.
Well, he's gonna get charged with the gun, but I think like Dion said.
Also, if he illegally, if he didn't have rights to that gun, like if he was holding that gun,
he shouldn't have a gun.
But I think we're looking at the bigger, the more the murder charge basically, because that's the charge that's gonna stick with everything. But it's a lot of questions going on, because they said that he had a ladder to get into the daughter's room, and that they dealt with this situation at his last residence. Yep. So that lets me know that's some crazy shit going on.
Do you guys think the daughter should be charged with something criminally?
I don't know if she should be charged, but I will say though,
she should be slapped.
She should, yes. Her mama should whip her ass for sure.
Maybe she should be charged with something. Maybe she should be, because
she did not contribute to. I mean, she didn't think that this will cause anybody's death though, so I don't think that she's negligent for someone's death.
Did she not know? How do we know that she didn't?
I mean, you got a point, because
let me ask you a question.
Right, because all it takes for the dad to have said one time, if I ever see this motherfucker in my house again, I'm gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask y'all a question, right? I own a home. right? I got 2 daughters, right? Why are you coming in through the window?
Because it's 10 o'clock and she 14.
Right, and why are you coming through the window?
To have sex with your daughter.
To have sex, to spend the night.
But why are you
It could
using
be-
the window and not the front door?
Because you're not allowed to.
I know
Because you can't.
Exactly. So you already know you're not welcome in this home. And so basically, you sneaking in my crib with an underage child. So he doesn't have any rights. He's dead wrong. Because if that child was 18, 19, this would be a different story. But because that girl is underage and a minor,
well, legally, it's not.
Well,
it's not. Well,
he's dead wrong.
I said that because I looked up the age of
He's
consent.
legally a minor too.
So yeah, she was 14.
She is. Yeah.
And as long as he wasn't 18 and she consented, it's perfectly legal in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And that's a whole.
They have to have like, if it's less than 4 years, it's fine.
Yes,
right?
it's gotta,
because
yes,
they're both under
yes.
18.
Yep.
And that's a whole nother argument. And
What I'm talking about,
and I
what
have
I'm talking
questions to
about
see
is
if
as
people
far
were
as the
comfortable.
jury is concerned, right? If an attorney's looking at the jury and say, this dude knew he was wrong. He was coming in through the window, right? Why is he coming in through the window? Because he knows he's not welcome in the home. So you're walking into a home that you know you're already not welcome with a gun on you. What are your intentions? Why are you going into a house that you know you're not welcome with a gun on you? Because if the person sees you that doesn't want you in their home, you're going to shoot him. So personally, he's done. I think he's going to catch charges, bro.
Maybe I got a gun on me because your neighborhood dangerous.
Like I said, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions going on because it seems like they knew about the situation and maybe this has happened before. He was allowed to come over. He was allowed, because if I'm thinking of somebody putting a letter to somebody's window and sneaking in, maybe they're just coming because it's 2:08, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm trying to spend a night in your room. So maybe it could be that. So, but it's uncomfortable because it seems like the fact that they were even having an argument or a discussion outside feels like this isn't the first time it's happened. They even said that they had run-ins that happened. It's a lot of questions going. And once again, I know people are probably going to get mad at this take, but when I say it's easy to influence kids, this girl was 14, right? So where is she learning to mess with older men from? Why is she wanting to mess with older men? Older men have money, right? So when you hear these songs like WAP, all this shit, sell your pussy, mess with older dudes and stuff like that, they start to develop these things.
Well, I think we have to be careful with that take too, because
he wasn't like
17,
25.
which means they could
I'm
be
saying the
in
girls
high school together, though.
But that's still.
They literally could be in class together. I think that's
man,
different
they're in the same school, bro.
They're
Like
still
older,
in a gym class
that's
together,
still
or
creepy,
it could be anything.
That's, to me, that whole 9th grade thing, messing with a senior, that's not comfortable with me.
He could have been a dummy and been a sophomore.
No, I mean,
that's very true. That's very true.
That is true. But I think I do wonder though, like, how do you even stop something like that, right? So if the daughter, because at the end of the day, the daughter had to let him in. I don't care how long he put the ladder to the window, he could have been banging on the window, or you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she had to let him in. Like, how do you, even as a parent?
We don't know. Maybe he pulled the gun out and he said, "Open the fucking window."
You're right, Dion.
Because
I would like to think that the nigga had a ladder up that my motherfucker went and my daughter say, "Dad, here's a nigga outside."
Right.
And he said at his last apartment, he dealt with the dude with the ladder. So he had a ladder entering his last apartment. So it's a little, I need more questions answered before because it just looks like people knew and probably was a little bit too comfortable with this relationship.
Well, I read one report that said that they moved specifically to get out of that neighborhood and probably to get her away from him. So they lived in an apartment and moved to the suburbs to change their environment.
So here's how I look at it. If this dude did that before and he's still doing that again, I'm not looking at the family strange. I'm looking at that dude strange. Like, you wilding. Like, you can't think about it like this. I'm a father. I got daughters, bro. Like, there's only so much. Like, I'm not Spider-Man hovering over my house. If a motherfucker's gonna put up a ladder at night when you're not paying attention and creep up to your daughter's window, that's hard to stop. Obviously, you hope your daughter wakes up and comes get you or something, but that's some extreme shit. You know what I'm saying?
The one thing I didn't read about in any of this was anything about his parents or his guardians or anything like that. So I'll be interested to know what their take or their position is on what happened also.
Man, I was all happy. I'm
Serious
about to
shit.
go on vacation.
I can't even joke no more. I was like, damn, how can I joke my way out of this? But shit, it's not even
Yeah, you could
hard
just
to
sound
joke
like an
after that.
asshole.
Shit.
Joke my way out
I
of it.
catch one of you little niggas on the window, I'm kicking the ladder over. I'm telling you.
Hey, hit me up for some body butter too. You know how you see me with the body butter
Chris
out
got
there.
the
So
body
email
butter.
me, text me, DM me. I got the body butter for all that shit. So hit me up.
He got that he got that mango passion body butter too. So make sure y'all hit him up. Got the smell.
I ain't got that yet. But give me a couple weeks. I'm
Chris, you
at.
ain't supposed to say that.
God damn it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just hit me up. You give me ideas and
go with
flavors
it.
and all type of shit.
Look, I need
Hit
you
me in
to
the DM.
I need you to see Vic about your marketing techniques. Cause you never supposed to say you ain't have something.
Market
Show
these.
some motherfucking love and support black and brown business.
There we go. Because
That's
I'm
what we're
both.
talking about.
I'm black and brown, baby.
Chris, excuse me, the guy named Chris.
There we go. I was gonna correct you. I was gonna let it slide the first time.
How do they find your body butter?
Well, you can check out my Facebook page, which is Arrogant Hair and Body Butter. You can also email me at arrogantbutters@gmail, my bad. And you can check out my IG page at Arrogant Hair and Body Butter.
All right, for those of you who couldn't
Out
write
them in
that
the streets.
down, we're going to post that link or the way for you to find that body butter on our social media page on Facebook. So look out for the body butter back.
That's why I'm so oily right now. You feel I'm all greased up, looking like a little sweaty little Egyptian nigga out there in the
street. And look, we appreciate y'all for checking us out tonight. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We got vacation next week, so we taking vacation.
Yes, man.
Please make sure
Can't
you hit
wait.
the like button, subscribe, share, comment. We love to comment back. Arrogant Underdogs. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Peace.
I got 50 on Dipset.
Jeez.
Dipset?
How the hell are you gonna judge?
B-Block.
There we go. That's
Let's
the eagle.
go.
That's the eagle right there. The man.